picture this. You consider yourself fairly healthy, you eat well, you stay active, but then seemingly out of nowhere, your body completely deceives you. You start gaining weight. Particularly disturbing is the weight that you gain in the middle section. You accept, of course, that with menopause, there could be some undesired changes. But this is personal, man, and you're gonna take it seriously. Okay, so you decide that you are going to follow a strict diet, crank up the exercise routine, and really turn this whole situation around. Because after all, you know, it's just a simple matter of calories in versus calories out. Well, spoiler alert. Not only will starving yourself or over-exercising probably not lead to desired results, it also will most likely exacerbate your battle with the scale along with your belly. This is a time when both your sex hormones and your stress hormones are already struggling to stay in balance, and restrictive diets or extreme exercise routine is only going to release more of that stress hormone cortisol, which not only stands to block weight loss, but also, encourages more fat storage, particularly in the belly. Okay, this is the thing I talk about all the time, that our bodies have really not adapted for this modern world where we have food security for the first time, as well as living pretty sedentary lifestyles. And because of this, your body is wired to hold on to any amount of extra fat that you have. It is wired for survival to make you the most efficient machine. And then this means while you're restricting calories, increasing your level of activity, your body responds by thinking, you're starving, this is an emergency and danger. And even if you are able to successfully lose a few pounds initially, ultimately your body is going to respond to protect you by slowing down your metabolism and even make you want to be a little more sedentary, and of course increase your appetite, so that ultimately, unfortunately, in order to maintain now this lower few pounds, you have to continue to eat less calories. This is the exact predicament, by the way, that the contestants of The Biggest Loser found themselves in. After losing significant amounts of body weight, their metabolisms also dramatically slowed down, and guess what? The majority of the contestants gained back the weight, and no reunion show. Stop the madness. There is a much better, less painful way to get the results you are seeking. Now, in today's video, I am going to give you my best tips to trick your body to let go of the menopause belly, take back control over your body, all without having to starve yourself needlessly or exercising to exhaustion. Number one, protein, protein, protein. Protein is arguably the most important macronutrient when you're trying to lose weight, especially as we get older. We understand that we need more. There is a range, but I suggest somewhere between 0.8 and 1 gram per pound of body weight is a good goal for most people, but obviously there are individual differences. Because protein obviously does support our lean body mass, which is very important for a healthy metabolism, but it also helps keep your blood sugar stable and is the most satiating of all the macronutrients, because honestly, if you're hungry, this is going to make this a lot more difficult. And then finally, protein has the highest thermic effect, which means that just metabolizing protein takes about 20 to 30% of the calories that you ingest. So that to me is fantastic. Okay, number 2 suggestion on my list after protein would be to definitely focus on pushing in those fibrous, low glycemic carbohydrates, vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. Dark leafy greens, bitter vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, very important during menopause, and berries, also okay. And then just as important as the things we're trying to, I always say, push in, we do want to limit, unfortunately, those starchy, high glycemic carbs. We don't need to eliminate them, but we do need to think about, obviously backing off of the bread, cookies, pasta, crackers, all of that. Number 3, watch out for added fats, because although we do want to eat some fat, we want to, at the end of this, we want to burn your fat, not the fat that you are consuming in your food. Once again, we need to include it because fat is very satiating and it helps reduce the response from glucose. And it is also required for digesting or absorbing the fat-soluble nutrients that come along in our vegetables. But be sure to focus on, whole foods such as avocados, olives, tahini, certainly some olive oil or butter. And when we're looking at meat, try to get the leaner cuts of meat, and obviously try not to eat anything fried. Exercise smarter, not harder. Less can actually be more. Go for the intensity. You really want to think about what's going to happen in the days following the exercise, and definitely alternate workouts so your body does not adapt to anything that you're doing. And also, I would tell you to keep an eye on the clock. We really don't want to do more than 20 or 40 minutes at the top end on most days. Now, if you really love a long bike ride or a run, absolutely you can fit that in, but I would say once or twice a week. And do not forget about weight resistance. Hitting each body part twice a week is the recommendation. And to build muscle, focusing on really good form and volume. There's no need to, risk injury when we're doing all of this. If you are hungry, this is really a red flag that maybe you did something wrong, but it's information that you can take for yourself. So there's a couple things that could be going on. For one, you could maybe, you didn't eat enough protein, or you didn't have enough fat or fiber like in the vegetables. Another thing, you could actually be eating too many high glycemic carbs like the bread, crackers, things I was mentioning. And finally, you could be doing too much cardio because, in spite of everything that we were told to believe in the 1980s, the processed carbs, those pretzels, I like the pretzel bits myself, my favorite, and popcorn, oh my God. They actually don't satisfy your hunger, and actually those hours of aerobic exercise also make us hungry, like an hour or two after you ate. And that is why we were told that, you better eat every 2-3 hours, because with all those blood sugar dips, you needed to eat frequently so that you wouldn't crash. I mean, does anyone relate to this? Because I definitely went through this entire scenario myself, lived it in the 1980s, but I would love to hear from you. So finally, I want you to consider to always combine in your meals a combination of some high quality lean protein, animal or plant source, a lot of vegetables, and then yes, a reasonable source of healthy fat. Because we need to stop the madness. eat food and stop punishing ourselves with chronic cardio. And I promise your body is going to say thank you. If you have enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my station and give me a thumbs up, and also comments below. Once again, that would also be terrific. And if you would like to know what a personal plan might look like for you, there is a link in the description below to book a no-cost call. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.